Ready.
Yes, sir.
Everyone may be seated. We are ready to proceed. Ladies and gentlemen, this witness has been previously sworn to testify truthfully. Mr. Goebel, Ms. Anderson? Okay.
Thank you. Good morning. Good to speak to you again. The purpose of this hearing, I'm going to refer to you as Thorne. Is that okay?
Need to answer out, yes or no?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Yeah, yes or no's. Housekeeping first. Now, you are a convicted felon, correct?
Correct.
And you were convicted of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and assault family violence with impeding breathing circulation, correct? And you were also convicted of assault causes bodily injury to family member.
Correct.
Now, how did you meet Tanner?
Living in Lake Worth, just overheard his music one day and went to his house.
So you just walked up and how did,
Knocked on the door with his grandmother and she said, just go on back.
and where did you go?
Just back to the room where the shed where his room was, AC and stuff. And he had a drum set, amps and guitars, and him and Jonathan Harper back there making music.
Were you by yourself?
No, I was with a friend of mine.
And you friends from then on?
Yeah, we eventually just got to know each other, hung out a lot more.
Now tell me, was Tanner serious about his music?
He seemed very serious about music.
Did you ever see him be too hard on himself?
All the time.
What did that look like?
Just not a lot of self-confidence, or always pushing himself or not noticing that he was as good as he thought he was. Always trying to push himself, I guess.
Did he play more than one instrument?
He played just about any instrument he could get his hands on.
What about drums? Was that his best?
I would think so.
Was he a pretty good drummer?
Yes.
Did he ever teach you to play any of the instruments?
To the best of his abilities. Tried to teach me to play guitar.
What about singing?
He encouraged me to open up and sing more.
Was that good for you?
Was.
Was Tanner in a band when you met him?
I believe so.
Or did he join one at some time when
Yes.
what was the name of that band?
The first one I'm not sure of, but Sacred Sound.
And did you ever hang out with that band or work for them or anything?
On occasion, I did a roadie for them, helped with equipment for one of their shows in Dallas.
What was that like?
That was an experience. It was fun. Opened for one of my favorite bands.
Do you know why he left that band?
I thought it would be just problems with the other members.
So what did you and Tanner do when you weren't playing music?
Hung out a lot, walked down to the little beach area. His neighbor had a boat he'd let us take out any time. Watched a lot of movies, animes, cartoons, really just hung out.
For people that don't know, what are anime?
Just adult cartoons.
Not
They're,
American usually,
Hmm?
an American usually, or
There's several American ones, but they're mostly Japanese or foreign. Illustration and
now that style, does that involve like big displays of emotion sometimes?
yes, sir, it does.
Hard to miss what the character's thinking.
Yes, sir.
What about video games? Have you all ever played video games?
Absolutely.
A lot or a little?
Quite a bit. Me more so, I believe.
Did you or Tanner or both of you ever use drugs when you were hanging out?
I smoked marijuana. Yeah, he did as well.
Okay.
And there was a time where he had a job at Walmart, so he used K2 substitute, and I believe that was just because they drug tested.
Was K2 legal at that time?
It was.
Now, I want to ask you about Tanner, how he what you observed, basically. How did Tanner handle a new or a difficult situation?
Not as rationally as the next person, or just not greatest at problem solving.
Did you ever know him to get flustered?
Yes.
Can you tell me, give me some examples?
Just while he's drumming, if he's working on a new song and he knows that he missed something, I can notice that he gets flustered while he's drumming. He'll yell or he'll hit himself off beat or something.
Were you with him when a vehicle broke down one time?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
I'm not sure what the vehicle was. It was a van when they had back seats that reclined into couches and such. It broke down on the highway, and I don't know, rationally I would have just pulled over and dealt with the problem, but it seemed to escalate in his mind much further than it needed to. And
So what ended up happening? Getting pulled over to the side of the road?
I think he stopped on the middle of the bridge. Yeah, on the crossover.
Now, you said that the K2 that he was using at the time was legal, right?
Correct.
Was there a time when he did something irrational about that?
Did something rational about it?
Irrational with
Irrational?
the K2, yeah. Got flustered.
I guess there's an incident where his grandfather had walked in, and instead of just putting it aside, he threw it clear across the room and gave it away. It wasn't very, the processing wasn't there. I don't know.
What about conflict? How did Tanner handle conflict?
Conflict, I've never seen him run towards it, or he doesn't chase conflict. I've never seen him get in an altercation with anybody.
Do you have any examples of when he avoided getting into an altercation with people or with you?
There's an situation where I had stolen his phone, and instead of being mad about it, he'd let it go. Conflict. Aaron, one of our friends, I'm sure it was kind of a bully. I don't know. And instead of standing up to him, he would never push conflict or try to fight against him or fight back.
So, what about like social cues and social settings? Did Tanner ever struggle with those?
I believe he did.
In what way?
Not being able to read the room when, say someone was uncomfortable with the music he was playing, or the level of the music, how loud it was, or such like that, or continue or dragging on conversations that have reached their end.
Did Tanner ever let you stay with him?
Say
Did Tanner ever let you stay with him?
He did.
And what happened? Why?
There was a time in my life where I could no longer stay with my grandmother in Wakeworth. So instead of me trying to figure out where to stay next, he just offered me to stay there for a short period of time against his grandmother and grandfather's better judgment.
And you talked about his grandmother was the first member of the family you met. What was she like? Or what is she like?
An angel. Very loving person.
You think really highly of her? Did you meet Tanner's grandfather?
I did.
And tell us about him.
Same way. Just very nice, open person.
What about his mother?
Not so much. I've met her occasionally, but I did not personally know her.
So was there an issue there that you two kind of had in common?
No. As in,
With his mother, him having some issues with his mother, and maybe you being able to be someone he could confide in?
he could confide in me about that, yes.
What, did you ever have a chance to meet Tanner's father?
I believe I did once
Okay. When was that?
at a Halloween party
Uh-huh.
that his father threw, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
But that was your only time being around him?
Correct.
And Tanner's brother, is that just a typical relationship or something else?
Brother?
Yes.
Yes, just typical younger brother, older brother relationship.
So the two of you hang out with him much or not?
Let me know.
No, sorry.
That's all right.
No, sir.
Fine. Do you remember Tanner ever having a girlfriend?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything particular about that, or was it just normal?
It seems fairly normal.
Okay. Now, was there a time when you and Tanner kind of grew apart or weren't hanging out?
Just grew apart, lived separate lives.
And did you have a chance to reconnect with him?
There was when I was running the Jimmy John's store, he came in to, I guess, to get a sandwich. He didn't know I was working there. And that was the last time I saw him.
Did he get flustered that day?
No, he seemed fine. Oh, actually, I apologize. No. The mayonnaise incident. He got flustered. I guess he's watching his weight. He's trying to get healthy. So when he came in, he ordered a sandwich, and he used an app to calculate his calories. And I guess he mistaken and forgot to remove the mayonnaise, and it sent his calorie count way high. And he just got really flustered. And instead of breaking it down and checking his app,
Is that something visual when you say you got flustered? Can you
yes,
see?
visually flustered.
What does that look like?
Shaking back and forth, rocking back and forth, not sitting still, just seemed anxious.
And you recognize that from...
Yes, I recognize that as Tanner. That's kind of how he was.
So that was kind of typical that he could get flustered over something as small as the calorie count.
Yes, sir.
Now, when Tanner was arrested on this charge, Did you have a chance to send letters to him?
I did.
Did you call him, or he call you?
He did contact me.
Did you all ever discuss his case?
No,
And was there a reason for that?
there was not. When I first learned of his case, I was under the impression of the story that he released, that he had hit her, and I believed the story.
Did he ever tell you that he wasn't supposed to talk about his case, or did you tell him he wasn't supposed to? Or
I've been through the court systems before. I understand that a case such as that, you should not and shouldn't be talking about it. And he did also emphasize that he won't give out any details.
Did Tanner ever show you a picture of his son?
I believe he did, yes.
How did he seem about that? Did he seem like a proud dad, or what?
Seemed like a very proud father.
Now, going back to his charges a little bit, you understand he's charged with kidnapping and murder of Athena Strand.
I do.
And you know that he's entered a guilty plea.
I do.
And that this is the punishment stage of his trial.
I do.
Give me 1 second.
Yes, sir.
Try to pass the witness.
Cross-examination.
Briefly, Your Honor, thank you. Sir, in talking of this, apparently, according to you, MAYO or lack thereof set him off.
Correct.
Now, when you said y'all grew apart, and I'm not going to ask you details, do you have a family now?
Correct.
You have kids?
I do.
I'm not going to ask you names or anything like that, but you do. Right.
Correct.
Okay. Seems like you have a pretty good assessment of his grandmother and grandfather.
I do.
Would it be right to say that they provided for him?
Yes, it would be.
Would it be right to say that they helped him out even in his older years when he was, say, over 20, even 30 years old?
I would not know that.
Well, during the time that you were around them, were they helping him out
Correct.
financially,
Yes.
food,
Yes.
gave him a place to live?
Yes.
Now, kind of sounds like you guys might have partied together a little bit. Is that right?
Correct.
Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And y'all didn't just smoke marijuana, right?
Correct.
Y'all drank?
Yes, sir.
What other substances were y'all doing together?
K2?
Okay. No acid?
No, sir.
No. Tanner doesn't. He doesn't do acid.
Not that I'm aware of.
He doesn't do other controlled substances like Molly, MDMA, ecstasy, anything like that.
Not that I'm aware of.
So you know the original story of that Tanner told everybody about
Yes,
what he
I
did.
did.
You know that's a lie, right?
Yes, it is.
You know that he kidnapped her. Now,
Yes,
you know
sir.
that now,
He's being pled guilty for it, yes.
right? And you know that he murdered her after he kidnapped her.
Yes.
You know there's evidence of sexual assault.
Objection, Your Honor. That calls for speculation on his part. It's not.
Overruled. You may answer the question if you know.
I was unaware.
You have kids. I mean, how does that make you feel?
Not good, sir.
witness.
Now, just to clarify, when we talked about the MAYO and what him looking flustered looked like, was that him being violent, or were you seeing movements? What were you saying there?
No, sir, not violent, just irrational, not irrational, just anxious, just